I've never heard this version, by the way. De Insomnis. It's an official OST. That's really good. Morning, afternoon. I know for some of you it's evening. Friends on the other side of the world, that is Narushio. Hey, Narushio. Hey, everybody. Davey, unknown. Imaginatri, Nate. Repping Twitch over there. How you guys doing? Good morning. We have a lot to get through today, while also actively wanting to also play the game. so that's also on the agenda. Actually playing the game because I want that Sanhua skin as a Sanhua main myself. I guess, before we start, I wanted to, I don't know, I've been sitting, obviously, like, things have sort of simmered, I think, from all the stuff. Yeah, I know, right? I do want to say thank you for the support. I think that video in question, obviously the talking about all the stuff that kind of went down, well, it's a little early, so my brain is kind of empty right now. But I guess, I would like to say thank you because I think the people that come to the channel who sort of know my character, and I have presented you the reality of who I am, I would say, not all of me, obviously, because there's that like barrier between us that I think is important to keep. But I think that I'm very grateful to those of you who understand what I was trying to do with that thumbnail, and I would also like to appreciate, say thank you to those of you that like wrote messages of support. It's actually, I feel very fortunate. A lot of people don't get to know what people think of them until they're dead, like their eulogy. And, when people come up or they like say nice things about you. And so I felt very respected and cared for. So I just wanted to say thank you. My heart is very full, actually, incredibly full. And I just deeply wanted to say thank you. It did really mean a lot. And that video was, I think, a very cathartic experience for me personally, because I had been carrying around a lot of baggage, and I saw all the sort of Wuthering Waves, gotcha creators that, talked about it and so on and so forth. I pretty much watched every video, and there are certain things that I would like to, I think mention from my perspective of things, really quickly, and then we'll dive into stuff. I'm fine. Yeah. Good morning. Hi. The one thing I would say is that on this channel, I will never call someone a Hoyo shill or, the other things that people in other communities call. I saw Tectone's video. I have no problem with Tectone, to be honest with you. Like, I think I'm going to go on his podcast and talk about everything. I think I come at this from a really interesting perspective because I don't hate Genshin, and I don't hate the Genshin community. I hate portions of it because that portion of it is unwell, just the same as the Wuthering Waves community. So I don't know if you saw this on Twitter before I left Twitter, X, but I made my review, and then someone was like, what's the worst thing about, what are the things that could be improved? What's one thing you think could be improved about Wuthering Waves? And I wrote like 8 things. And one of them was that there should be a balance between female and male characters. And the amount of people that called me gay, which I've got no problem with people that are gay, but I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, it's the craziest thing. And then I was like, I'm not gay, I have a fiance. And then they'd be like, well, tell your fiance's boyfriend that I said hello. Like, fucking crazy ass people. And so, like, there are, you know, it is a 2009 insult. That's how I know they're children. And so I would just like to be, like, abundantly clear that, you know, it's very funny that there are fringes of every community that are absolute shit. Or as people start to say, dog water, which is a term I'm noticing on the internet these days. That is absolutely true. First of all, I think my dog's water is as good or better than mine, for the record. But so there's a shit ton of bad people. As far as the thumbnail goes, I've had a lot of time to process this, and I really don't personally feel like, I could see why. Again, like I mentioned, I won't talk about this very long, but I could see why the thumbnail in question was inflammatory. I really do agree with what has been said about it, though, that it really wasn't. You know, I've actually, having spent a bunch of time on rage bait thumbnails in the last couple days and seeing how other channels that are specifically sort of perpetuating this stuff, you know, to their own credit, you know, like, I saw one guy that said, fuck Hoyo shills. I've never said that. So, you know, it's cool. I mean, I don't mind, you know, but again, I mean, when I go on Tectone's podcast, the goal there is to talk in a civilized way and do so in a, you know, mature and adult way. And I do plan to do that. But I'm not going to throw the entirety of the Genshin community under the bus for that. That's absurd. The Genshin community that has come to this channel, and I think what was actually the best part about this whole, like, drama is that I actually have discovered who actually respects and values what I have to bring to the table. Because the people, first of all, I'd like to point out that, you know what's crazy? That video that I made, do I think Tectone is a drama guy? Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. Of course I do. I just think that one of the things that I actually admire about Tectone is that Tectone does not give a fuck. And that is an attitude that I don't think is harmful to have. Now, I think that, you know, I think he feels certain ways about the ways that he feels. And, you know, whether or not we agree or disagree on those is kind of irrelevant, because that's his community. That's the way that he wants to run his thing. You know what I mean? But I just like to point out that, like, this video, actually, the drama video that I made, let's have a talk about Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves, the average view time was 5 minutes. So that, I mean, granted it was like a 16-minute rant, but I would like to say that, there's that one Hoyo Shorts channel that misinterprets what I say. It's so fucking dumb. Like, just watch the video and understand. Like, none of this was actually... So, the real reason for making that was because for 8 months, I carried a bunch of bullshit and anger towards a portion of the community, for the Genshin community, that was disrespectful and really harmful and rude. But I want to make it clear that, like, I know it's being misconstrued, which is fine. I mean, I can't control that. But what I can tell you is that, like, this shit happens in every community, and I've experienced it also. Thanks, Not Aggressive. I've also experienced it over on the Wuthering Waves community. You know what's interesting, though? The interesting thing to me is that what I would say is that when 1.0 came out, I want to look at the... I think I might have hid a lot of these people, but I want to see something. I think Wuthering Waves is the first time that I've ever actually called something disappointing. I think I've taken issue with a bunch of stuff with Genshin, but I've never felt that Genshin was disappointing. But 1.0 was genuinely disappointing to me, musically, right? So I've spent about 6 hours. I will say I did a bad job with this video because I had played this game 6 hours in a row, And then I made like a really short, it was like a literally like a 3-minute video. I was so bummed about 1.0 because the beta had just come out and I was like, it's literally just the beta with all the same fucking issues the beta had, which really bothered me because it was like, why don't you just take another couple months and just improve on it? But I felt like because Not Long was coming out that Kuro somehow decided to push it. And I was like, why don't you just like wait, it was 6 months, wasn't it? When was CBT2, guys? It was ZZZ. That's what it was. That's right. I think you thought it was a budget issue. Oh no, definitely. There was a ton. Yeah, you're right. I think it was about 6 months. In any case, it definitely was missing its identity. I think it's really interesting too because the PGR community. So when I started playing PGR, those were some of my biggest streams. Those and Genshin were my two biggest streams, and PGR was actually really impressive to me because the community was really there were fringes as always, but in general the PGR community was very kind, as kind to me as the Genshin community was. But it's interesting that now that we want this, right? We want Wuthering Waves to be successful. I think anybody in their right mind recognizes that competition between Genshin and Wuthering Waves is actually a positive for all gaming in general. Just in the same way that the conversation between Call of Duty and Battlefield, like now both are kind of shit, which is unfortunate. But the core Kuro like fan base that played PGR when basically nobody played PGR, or like no one really embraced or accepted how good PGR was/is. Whatever you want to feel about like the speeding up of the patches, I know that that's caused a bunch of problems, but it is interesting that the less people in a community, the less shit is provided by it. I totally agree. But yeah, so I mean, the whole thing, it's just very interesting. I think this whole thing has been very interesting. And I guess above all, you know, I think the thumbnail expressed my sentiment for how Wuthering Waves was washing away the competition. And the original title was Defying the Gotcha stereotype or whatever it was. And I think that the thing that Bran made an amazing video about this. If you don't know Bran online, he's actually a phenomenal Genshin creator. And he also plays Wuthering Waves and all the sort of gacha games, but I think he really loves Genshin. And he made a great video about using critical thinking. And like, I think all of us poke the bear. That's just what YouTube is, unfortunately. Some of us go all in. And I honestly, with the rage baiters and stuff, like if that hurts you emotionally, I do recommend turning that stuff off. But you know, they're just trying to make their money too. It's no different. I mean, like, unfortunately, you know, we live in late stage capitalism. You know what I mean, for the most part. And it's kind of the thing where it's like, I don't know, hate the player, hate the game. You know, don't hate the player, hate the game. I think that obviously there's different levels of what content is. And some might be slop, some might be deeper, maybe. I don't know, it depends. Some people love drama. Why do you think trash TV works? Because it's trash and it works. You know, it's probably makes more money than like other stuff. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I do think if it like hurts you, the thing you should do is definitely like not engage with it. I do think that some people were like, oh, well, you've picked your side. And those people, I think, do need help. Because there's no such thing as picking a side. And if you really, if you really feel that way, that is, I do think that may or may not be a you issue. So, I mean, you know, especially me, like I'm pretty neutral. I mean, I love Wuthering Waves. It was definitely one of my favorite, even though I said everything I said, I do feel like it was literally one of my favorite games of last year. Ian. I mean, I think picking sides in a gotcha sense is kind of silly because all of these games ultimately, thanks, Sire, appreciate that. All of these games are trying to take your money or take your time. And that's a fact. Whether or not they're taking your money, they're definitely taking your time. All of them. And I think like MMOs as much as gacha games are the same thing. You know what I mean? They want your time. All games want your time, but I think gacha games especially. Hi, Indonesia. And I think ultimately time is actually the biggest currency that we have, and unfortunately all of us are sort of on limited time. So, you know, spend your time wisely. But I just wanted to make some points. Live service games, excuse me. That's what I mean. You know, I just wanted to, you know, I really ultimately wanted to thank you for the support. You're never going to see me call people from the Hoyoverse community Hoyo shills or what have you, and really even the Kuro bots. It's just like such stupid bullshit. You know, I mean, fuck, you could make the argument that like Monster Hunter doesn't respect your time because every fight takes 20 to 40 minutes, but that's the whole point of it, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. All that to say, like, I think time is money. Yeah. Yeah, I guess hopefully this is all behind us and we can just enjoy whatever game, you know. If you're here for Wuthering Waves, you know, come watch a Monster Hunter live, you know. MMOs are definitely time gobblers. MMOs, I'm a big Guild Wars 2 player. In fact, I probably like more than gacha. I think I love MMOs probably more, but I'm a big live service guy, to be honest with you. And Guild Wars 2, in order to get a legendary armor that then is a quality of life improvement, where then you have to go, you can actually exchange the armor and put it on any character you have. You know how long that shit takes? Hundreds of hours. So I think, and that's the other thing too, is that playing Warframe really changed the way that I view gacha games, because Warframe, even though it is full of microtransactions and full of other things that people probably hate, what it does do is it does allow you to, honestly, the gacha system is really like the worst part about these games. I was trying to pull Astra Yao I was trying to pull Miyabi in ZZZ. And I had it was guaranteed, or no, it was up to the 50-50 and I lost. And then I was like, fuck. Okay. So now I decided to put some money in. Right. And I got Miyabi and I got her engine and I had to spend $200. Did the same thing with Astra Yao and lost the 50-50 again. And so then I was like, man, like, I don't have a ton of money. I have enough money to like comfortably do that. It fucking sucks. The 50-50 is fucking terrible. And, you know, like even this patch, I put $300 into Wuthering Waves because I knew that I would be pulling a lot of Wuthering Waves characters, right? And obviously I don't think that that's as big as like Whales, who see, you know, C6 or E6 everything. But, you know, that too, like it's just a money pit. You got to be so careful about these games. And I think it's important for us to, I think it's important to talk about that. I've played enough gacha games over the last year and a half, 2 years, to recognize that there is an immense danger. I probably spent, I don't even know. Honestly, this is the other thing. I don't know how much money I actually spent in Arknights. That's bad, guys. Do not do that. And I think it's because I don't have self-control, because I have some miscellaneous extra funds. But that's also irresponsible of me, because remember, I was an opera singer, so I don't have a retirement. So starting to save for a retirement is really important to me. If you're younger than me, which I'm 37, you know, you got to start thinking about like, okay, well, where's my money going and how can I maximize my money? And now I'm actually changing the way I do that. But all that to say, like, you know, these games can be very dangerous. So, you know, be careful of your allegiances. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'd like to get started, but I just wanted to, I look early 30s. Thank you. My face froze? No, it's fine. I'm older than Roger. Yeah, I am. Hey guys. Hey, welcome in. Yeah, no, I would not recommend someone with a lack of self-control play gacha. Oh, they shifted the PGR system? I didn't realize that. So the PGR guaranteed banner was not until 1.5 years in. I wish they bring back that stupid fucking Nier collab so I could grab 2B. No. We've just been talking. I'm 37. I look 20. I'll accept. Godfrey, that C system. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm probably gonna skip Roccia here because I'm not really sure that I need her, because I also love Sanhua. And hey Hen, how you doing? It's been a minute. Nice to have you. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome in. No, I will not play. No, Missy, I will not play the Outer Wilds DLC. I could barely do Outer Wilds itself. All it is a login every day. All right, that's easy. No, we're gonna watch. No, don't worry. We haven't started yet, guys. We have buongiorno. Is that Ben? Is that Ben Tao, or is he? Yeah. Do I want more weapon types for Wuwa? I'm sort of neutral on that. I don't really know, to be honest with you. I think Ben Tao, was it you that I remember reading something? I remember I was somewhere and I was reading about how you felt that we had a parasocial relationship, friendship, and you were like, he doesn't know I exist, but I really appreciate him, or whatever. Called out in 3D. All right. I don't know that I'm going to pull. I want to test her out to ensure if I can pull her out. If I can pull her. I'm not sure if I want her. We're going to see it now. I don't, how do you even do the surveys, guys? I've never seen is it in the client? Hey guys. And we're going to look at Selena's music too, and then we'll dive into Wuwa. Oh, okay, I guess I've never looked at it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to not provide my commentary. But yeah, so I don't know. Okay, I'm ready to stop stalling, but all that to say, what's up? Non-gacha, I think the biggest one for me is Monster Hunter Wilds right now, but there's always something that I'm finding on Steam that I want to check out and stuff. I'm playing through the Trails series right now, Sora no Kiseki. Incredible stuff. Oh yeah, the Nimbus Sanctum. Yeah, so I've got about 2 hours, unfortunately, so let's get started, I guess. I don't know. I feel really I just feel really grateful for you guys. And you know, I just wanted to say thank you. And I do hope that, like, regardless of what your perspective is on fan bases and Hoyoverse people, like, I do hope that, like, even though I find this is hypocritical because I'm saying this, but then I'm going ahead and making a thumbnail like that. I do hope that you can at least recognize that not everything. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Pit Black. I do hope that, like, you recognize that, like, all communities struggle with this, and it just so happens that I had an issue that happened with the Hoyoverse community. Not all of them, right? Just like I had issues with the Withering Waves community, not all of them, right? And so if you're coming here, we're kind of gonna, it should be chill. And again, the point of that video, I think, was just it was 8 months of just, like, kind of this anger that I don't think I hadn't been able to actively talk about. And for whatever reason, for me, it's really important to talk about my feelings. I really like talking about stuff. Also, I saw a lot of dumb comments that were basically like, well, you know, you step on a pile of snakes and all this other stuff. And look, I get it. The internet is a shit. But I do think that I think we live in a society. I think all people struggle. That is a fact. But I think we live in a society where you're supposed to tolerate bullshit, and you're supposed to toughen up and wear a thick skin and and not be emotional. And I want you to know, I don't want to take ownership over this because I don't think that's right. But like, because I've also had to work through all this. But like, I want you to know that I want you to know that for those of you that feel like you can't be strong or that you need to toughen up, I want you to know that there's room for both. And I think that's ultimately, I know I've been ranting here, but that's actually the main point I want to talk about really quickly. You can be tough and also be sensitive. And I think there's a lot of people in the media or in the world right now that would want you to think like you need to press your emotions down, not give in, not listen to anything, don't cry, don't be emotional. And I want you to know that I think that that's not acceptable. That I think is the main point. Like all the things that have happened to me or to you, you're allowed to feel those things and allowed to feel those things intensively and work through those things. It is actually your responsibility as a person on this planet to work through your feelings and process them in a healthy way. That is actually what you are supposed to do, right? All these names and people calling you names and acting this way or that way in your life, that's because of repression. That's because of unworked through bullshit. So as you move through the world, please try to continue to work on yourself, to be the best version of yourself for you so that you can be a better version of yourself for others, including the profile pictures on the internet. Okay? That, if there's anything you'll ever take away from anything I've ever done, please let it be that. It is okay to be emotional. It is okay to feel. No, talking about my dad dying is not a trauma dump. No, it's not dark. That is reality. Even if you're 18, even if you're 20, that is the reality. And you may not feel it the way I do until it happens to you. And I hope it doesn't, but it will. And I just ask you to just remember that your job in this world is to actually leave it better than it was before you were here. Even if it takes you 10 years to understand that, I just pray to you, I pray for you to just be a good person. And if you're sensitive, don't bury that shit. And if you're burying that shit right now, try to work through it in whatever way you can. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let's get to it. There's a really, and please be respectful to the Genshin community. Please be the light you wish to see in the world. Okay. There's a quote. Yeah, I'll hop on. I don't have a problem with Tectone. I'll definitely go on the thing. Associating with Tectone is going to automatically put me in a bad position. But my position is going to be the same way it always is. I'm not going to go in there and start talking mad shit about people. That's just not who I am, and it's not what I'm going to do. I actually am looking really forward to that conversation with Tectone. We could not be more different when it comes to how we talk. But actually, our philosophy on certain things is actually not that far apart. The things that he said to me in that video were things I've already thought, right? Regardless of the language he uses, which I don't agree with, that's a separate conversation, right? So I know that associating myself is going to be problematic, but that's not really a me issue, right? Like I know who I am. I'm pretty sure Tectone knows who he is. Whatever his beef is with whatever, that's his journey and his thing to navigate, right? My journey is mine, right? But I think that those two things can exist. I mean, yeah. He definitely hypes it up for the camera. There's a really famous quote about... let me see if I can find it before we start. If I can provide Tectone with a musical education, that would just make my day. Anyway, I can't find the quote, but all that to say, there's a really powerful quote about like when we suffer, we tend to lock our hearts and bury them in a box and bury it under the sea. But the problem is that when you bury it under the sea, your heart actually begins to grow cold because the water is cold that low below the ground in that box. You may suffer in life. I can guarantee that you will. But it is up to you to recognize that your heart being down there in that ocean, buried under the sand in a box, does nobody any favors, and it only turns you cold. So you can bury it, you can protect your heart, you can put it somewhere else. But if you bury it too deeply, it will be very hard for it to come back up. So, I'm not preaching to you. That's why you have parents and people that whatever, like, yeah. But seriously, like, anyway. Okay, so I already saw this. That's not me. That's C.S. Lewis, a popular philosophizer. So I've already seen this. Wait, what? No, he does not. Tectone believes that music directors do nothing but dance in front of the orchestra. Tectone, no. That's not what they do. Conductors in front of the orchestra, their goal is to, first of all, keep the orchestra unified. Second of all, their goal is to make sure that the singers, if there are singers on stage, are following along with the orchestra. The conductor is the guide of the orchestra. Now, a good orchestra doesn't really need a conductor, but they're always there to help. They're there to enhance the experience. They're there to remind the orchestra how to play. If something's really sharp, the conductor is there to help keep it sharp. If the orchestra is supposed to be very soft and smooth, that's what the conductor's there for. That is very funny. World War II was 1941 to 1945. Well, technically, the stock market crash happened in 1939. The Great Depression. I was almost a history teacher, guys. So the Great Depression was 1939. That was the stock market crash in the U.S. And then the Great Depression, we were in the Great Depression when World War II happened. And at the same time, Hitler is coming to power, 1936, 4-ish. And then, so all this stuff is happening in Europe. Stock market crashes. Everyone's depressed. Oh, man, no. That's 1929. I'm sorry. 1929 stock market crashes. My bad. Stock market crashes 1939. Great Depression happens. Ruins and devastates the whole world. Then we get these people that come to power, including Hitler, Mussolini, all this other stuff. And then that's when things start to shift in the world. Still not great in the 30s. 30s were kind of shit. And then the first 5 years of the 40s were absolute shit for everybody. World War II was kind of a big deal. And then, and then so on and so forth. And World War I started in 1911 with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Mussolini sounds like a type of noodle. I don't know. My grandfather guarded Mussolini. He was a member of the police force, and he was actually forced to. And then he went to Albania. You're right, Arnold. You're right, Arnold. You're right. The humiliation. Yes, correct. All that stuff. No, I sort of expected the stream to be a little bit bigger than normal. He does not think World War II was in 1800. I refuse to believe that that's true. No, it's a joke in the community. Okay. I heard he's bald too. If I shave my head, I would look like Tectone, by the way. This focus of this stream is both. He said Hawaii was in Japan. Oh man. All right, let's watch. All right, let's watch this trailer. So I've already seen this. So this is going to be more of a discussion about the music and stuff. Bear in mind it's 9:34 in the morning, so things might not be super well thought out. Okay. All right. I know that there's we'll see. We'll see about Roccia. We'll see today. It's such a funny line. It's just such an absurd Lion King reference. Like, I love that they just went full hardcore into the idea of just being Lion King. I saw this and I was like, really? That is so immensely just like on the nose. First of all, Lion King, what an incredible movie. I think like The Lion King is truly one of the best, if not the best Disney movie ever made. The game haunts me to this day. If you've never played the game on the Genesis, I think it was on the SNES too. I think it's available on Steam. Play that and hate yourself, because the I Can't Wait to Be King section is truly the absolute worst moment of any video game ever made, ever. Ever. I'm talking ever. There, no Dark Souls, no nothing, no Neo 2. I'm telling you that fucking the Lion King I Can't Wait to Be King section in that game is truly the hardest fucking difficult thing in any game I've ever played. Musically, really interesting stuff here, because what is that? That's very playful, right? That's very mysterious. That the thing about Roccia is that Roccia is a very unique character, because she has this, essentially this, I'm making things up, so just bear with me, this is not accurate, but there's a sort of ghoul with what's his name, Pero, this sort of ghostly thing, and I recognize that she also, I think she sees ghosts, or she's connected to spirits or what have you. Is that right? I can't remember. But anyway, the mysterious thing is really interesting, because it's sort of, why is it that she's traveling with this essentially this ghoul, this ghost, So I find that really that music is correct, and obviously they're bonded and they're friends, and they're Pero supports her and looks after her, but there is a sort of clairvoyancy about Roccia that this beginning of this trailer really highlights. I'll try to stop about 3 times, chat, just so that we can really I don't want to stop every 10 seconds, okay?
Will be yours.
And try not to spoil me. Well, I'm going to stop again just because the singer started. So something really incredible about this, it's just amazing to me. First of all, this sounds ever so slightly like Willy Wonka, which is kind of funny. But the way that she's singing this, in a realm of pure creation. Do you see what she's doing? Listen to this really quickly, and you tell me in the chat what she's doing.
Gaze all around on a realm of pure creation.
What is she doing there? Chat, class is in session. Let me do it for you. Bob Yada in a realm of pure creation. I see one correct answer. In this case, it does have a correct answer. She's certainly prolonging the vowels. You're not wrong there. But what are one of the things that make it Disney-esque? Articulation. Correct. I saw this a couple times. It's enunciating. Yes, correct. You understand? So what she's doing here, and the way that this works so well, and why it works so well, is in the beginning here, not only is she going, gaze all around. So what she's actually doing, she's also kind of doing this thing where she's compressing the voice ever so slightly. And what that does, well, compressing the voice, that's the wrong way to mention it, but just for the sake of argument. But essentially, she's creating mystery with the voice. So listen to the difference. Gaze all around in a world of pure imagination. Right? That's just saying it, but listen to the difference. Gaze all around in a world of pure imagination. Do you hear how that's different? Do you hear how one elicits a feeling and the other one is mostly just singing? Do you also notice that the consonants are very pronounced? And if we don't know what kind of we don't know what consonants are G, L, R, N, D. And some of these consonants we can stretch out. All is an interesting one because all essentially extends the A. All around, gaze. We can really these are the one. G, T is dental. D, and G are kind of the same J sounds. So anyway, all that to say, the dynamic makes it mysterious. And the accenting of the consonants helps create a feeling of tension and mystery. Okay? Pretty cool. And the reason why I hear Willy Wonka is because I see pure creation. It's a pure imagination. I don't know why. It's irrelevant. Also, these almost feel like they're related to actual works of art. Like this reminds me of the one painting with the girl with the blue. Oh, a girl in the. Is this? I hope you were prepared for what this was going to be today. Girl in the blue dress painting. What is this? Yeah, this one. Woman in blue. That's what it is. Excuse me. Not girl in the blue dress. Girl in blue dress. It's this one. Vernet's Woman in Blue. Oh, not the show. Painting. Oh, it's... Yeah. So check this out. See the... It's a loose... Oh, fuck. It's a loose sort of... See how there's just a tiny bit of similarity? I know it's a little bit of a reach, but I kind of wonder. I find that pretty interesting. Maybe you do too. If you don't, well, you should. I'm just kidding. Teasing. All right, I'm not going to stop too much. I'm going to stop again. The fantastic stuff here. The proof of now your crime. Very interesting. This crime, even though it's C-R-I-M-E, it actually is a cra vowel. It is a ah vowel. Crime. It's not cream, crime. And she does it in a belted way, which is very, you call it Disneyfication, but really it's musical theater. The musical theater background, musical theater singing is very open. And when I say open, I mean that in opera, we tend to, it's all about the soft palate in opera. The soft palate, if you look at your own mouth in the mirror sometime, this is your hard palate. The stuff right behind your teeth is the hard palate. The soft part where your uvula is, you know, the uvula, the dangly thing in your throat, that is the soft palate. And so what we do in opera is we lower our larynx. We raise our soft palate, and then we sing out through the it's called the nasopharynx, which is the nose, and the oropharynx, which is the mouth. Okay? So it essentially looks like Monster Hunter taught me what a uvula is. So essentially, it ends up looking like a 7. You breathe, the air comes up through the throat, goes into the back of the soft palate, or in the yarmulke right back here, and then it comes out the front of the face. That is the process about, that is how we create an operatic sound. Tall vowels are certainly a part of that, but tall vowels are really just raising your soft palate, I would say. Whereas this is much more has a little bit of stank to it. There's a little bit of an edge to it. And that's what makes it musical theater or Disneyfication. Also really love this section where we're adding the different instruments, the brass, the trumpets, the violins, the strings. We're really emphasizing the fact that the bells of the convent chime, you know?
The bells of the convent chime.
All you proof is now of your crime. That's so fun. And this is actually like almost barbershoppy. Run, 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 run. Because we're running, baby. That's why it's fast. Destination. Definitely, I love it.
You might not get away. You can only
Get so far your feet will go.
you know what happens.
You'll know what happens.
If you stay.
It's so good. I want to reiterate how good this is. This is very, very good. And then we repeat. Distancing.
Escape is an endless road.
The troop becomes spirits, huh? How long is her companion quest, chat?
That some good comes
Oh no.
from the eager seeds you've sown.
Oh, it's definitely Aladdin coded.
But the
2 hour? An hour?
final die is cast. The end is coming fast.
I want to talk about how great that harmony is. You don't even hear it because of where it sits, right? I think this is a lower harmony. One sec. Yeah, it's a lower harmony, and the lower harmony does a great job. The lower harmony is essentially, I was thinking about this the other day because I was talking about it, and I was like, okay, well, what is the difference between a lower harmony and a higher harmony? And this is up to interpretation, of course, but the lower harmony to me acts as a sort of, you know how you have if you have a white piece of text, right? And then if you add a shadow, the text pops. I think that's what lower harmony is. I think upper harmony, I haven't fully figured out what that means to me or what I perceive upper harmony. But I think upper harmony probably does upper harmony probably does the same thing, but I think upper harmony shifts the sort of the style of it ever so slightly. Yeah.
Is cast. The end is coming fast.
So I actually got goosebumps there. I want to rewatch this and then try to figure this out. So Pero comes to save her. And it's interesting because in that moment, we actually get a degree. So Pero's kind of been this like playful mascot, right? Kind of. Not dissimilarly to Abby, if we really wanted to go that far. I almost said Ambi because I've been playing DZZ lately. But the thing here is that we actually get a moment where actually we see like sort of like the power and danger in Pero. Now it'd be really easy to assume that Pero is silly, but in this moment musically, when they conjoin, when they connect, that's actually where the danger is, and that's where the I guess the power comes in, and it's a really powerful moment that we should rewatch. Right here. And I think, you know why? It's because he rejoins her away from this spectral realm, you know? He actually brings her back to life. And so it highlights Pero's power. And I think that's really special to me because that's a bonding of the two of them. And it's absolute cinema, which I actually hate that and now everything is suddenly absolute. It's like in the theater. Doesn't matter how shit the performance is. And in the United States, they always give a standing ovation. It's like, sit your ass down. Some of that shit wasn't that good. You can't give absolute cinema to everybody. You gotta pick and choose where you absolute cinema. Like, stop giving standing ovations to shit. You gotta learn the difference. But in this case, this is absolute cinema. Pero is a she? I'm sorry.
There's a rebel anthem rising. Join
It's so
the
funny.
ranks and storm the stage. It's the final
Curtain, curtain call.
Let that dance keep going. Paint on canvas flowing. Let the song keep rolling. Let that page.
This is really high. Hold on one sec. Stop. How high is that? Stop. I need to get a plug for this piano here. Hold on one sec. Oh wow. So this is middle C. She's up here. And she's singing, these are E and F. Which is insanely high. Really impressive. Goodbye, unknown. Sleep well. So this singer is incredible. I don't know who this singer is, but that's really impressive. Listen to that again. It's actually incredible.
Let that dance keep
Going, paint the canvas flowing.
Let the song keep rolling. Let that
And the reason why it works, by the way, chat, is because page ends up being an eh sound, and eh is an open vowel. I don't know if I'm sure you know this about your own languages, because all of your languages are unique and special in their own ways. I actually love language, and I wish I was a little bit more of a further of a linguist. I mean, you know, we can talk about all the languages I speak if we want, but I love language. And page, pe, pa. When you get up to, it's a very interesting thing, but when you get up to the upper register, is the singer credited in the description? When you get up to the upper register, no. When you get up to the upper register, we actually fudge with the vowels. So it wouldn't be pe. So you notice how pe is closed, but pe is open? This is what we're talking about when we're talking about the micro movements. A is open. O is open. O is closed. U is closed. Is closed. Is closed. E is open. E is closed. U is closed. Okay, so very interesting stuff. So all that stuff is really, really fun. Okay, time to hide Mike. Why do you guys like this rubbish? He's British. He's British. E is closed, yeah. I like British people, by the way.
When the spotlight graces the stage once more, we shall return.
Nice. Really beautiful. It's great stuff. The whole thing feels very vaudeville. Yeah, I think you're right. There is a vaudevillian aspect to it for sure. Yeah. It's really cool. What? That's insane. I'm not going to read that out loud. That's absurd. Great trailer. I mean, it's again, I mean, I think like if this is the direction that we're really, again, I think, I'm sorry. if this is the direction that we continue to go in for Wuthering Waves, I think it's great. I think it's an amazing thing. I think like this is the dialing up of the music and the like overall experience of Wuthering Waves. This is wonderful. And I think a healthy competition between this and Genshin Impact is wonderful. I think it's great for everybody because you may like one game over the other, but both of these games have quality music and quality art and quality, aspects to them. Now, you may prefer one over the other, and I can't blame you. I also have a preference. But this is a thing to celebrate. And I think that partially that's why I'm celebrating Wuthering Waves' success so much. Because finally, Genshin is the king, regardless of what's been going on with Natlan and stuff. Like, for the longest time, Genshin was the game that people were like, oh, like a AAA gacha game. Genshin is the name. But now that Wuthering Waves is starting to come up, what we're getting now is a fair and balanced sort of, experience where a person can pick and choose what they want to play, and one isn't at a lower level than the other. There's an equal balance. And that is a worthy thing to celebrate. And I also think that if Wuthering Waves, you can't make a video about Wuthering Waves without talking about Genshin. Well, it's just the natural. I mean, okay, fine. I don't know any others, but like, there's so many games that are coming out now that I think healthy competition is good. But that is the key word, healthy. I do think we have to do better. You're a hypocrite. Your video thumbnail showed Carlotta drowning Hu Tao. But I do think that it's important that we retain your dignity. Do not lower yourself to like insults. Don't do that. For what? This is great. I just listened to the Rumeria OST from Genshin from like 8 months ago. Shit's great. Let them both be side by side. Play whichever one you want. Play both. Play neither. I mean, like, fuck gacha. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just. Okay. Some of you are not getting the point. So that we're not going to do that. There's lots of 14 on the channel. I stopped playing 14 because I absolutely hated Dawn Trail, so I'm not going to bother on a lot of stuff about it. Sorry, I was just talking to the mods. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to quickly listen. I probably won't do a deep dive into this, but I did want to listen to it, if that's okay. I wanted to listen to the new Selena stuff because I'm a big Selena fan in PGR. This might get me to come back and lock in with Punishing Grey Raven again. Oof, that's cool. Wait. Love the strings coming in here. That's amazing. Wow. Oh my god. It's crazy, you know. I feel like there's a redemption in here for Selena. It's very interesting because obviously I have context here, and I think Selena is actually one of my favorite characters in a lot of video game media. And I know people are like, well, how do you like her more than, you know, some other characters from other major games? But I think Selena, Selena's suffering in PGR is fascinating to me because she suffers so much, and her story is like deeply heartbreaking. Like seeing what she becomes and like, you know, how she kind of like, how do you collect yourself and experience all of that awfulness and then somehow come out the other side. I mean, it's like fascinating. Also, a couple different things, but the beginning here is gorgeous. So the beginning is actually the homage to Zarastro and the flute, which is really cool. I think, I think what I really like about this, the accordion is fascinating because it doesn't necessarily fit with this like very classy image, which is kind of interesting because the accordion has kind of a playful sound, you know what I mean? Whereas this feels very, very, very elegant. Really, really good. I mean, it's incredibly impressive, especially. This sounds like Yoko Shimomura meets PGR. I can't disagree with that statement. That's really awesome. Her suffering is fascinating. Why? What? What I mean is her suffering is fascinating because she is able to pick herself up. And so she's able to like survive all of this awful trauma and emerge and be like strong and capable, if I'm remembering correctly and I'm not misremembering. Because the shit that Selena goes through is an abomination. I mean, like the stuff that she goes through is awful. You know, a husk. I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't played PGR. Like the PGR, the Selena stuff is profound. The way that she suffers and emerges despite the, like, I mean, I'll never forget the image, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say it, but there's an image. And her, the imagery is so palpable, and I'm pretty sure Gabriel's there. I might be misremembering, chat, but like Gabriel's there, and we see this. I don't want to say it. I don't want to spoil it, but it's powerful. Oh, it's gonna loop. Oh no. Yeah, it loops. But even that pium pum pium pum pium pium pum pium pum pum. It's like deeply heart-wrenching. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it's extraordinary. This is beautiful. That's incredible. Wow. Really, well, actually, I'll spend a little bit more time on it because whatever. It's fine. Even if we don't end up getting to Wuwa, we'll get to Wuwa, but I wanna honor some of this time too. Listen to this. But like even that isn't amazing. There's a little bit of a lift. And there's a kind of like breathlessness in that sound, isn't there? It's a bit like gasping for breath or like catching one's breath, right? And then I think the plucking here is really cool too, because the plucking is like, what makes the plucking so powerful to me? You can't say something and then not back it up, so you got to say it. I think the plucking is really powerful to me because it feels like plucking is generally something that we experience with playful music. And yet with this, bum, 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 that's like, you know, like, it's almost like an awakening, like coming out of or maybe it connects me to the playfulness, but it's like, wow, this is so elegant and playful. There's a gentle quality in the position of where that is, if that makes sense. Oh, I saw the Lucia. I don't want to talk about it. I am so confused. Also, the balls on Kuro. Yeah, so I think that's what it is. The plucking actually helps be the flute. The flute is the dominant instrument in this, right? And so the fact that we are letting the flute be the main instrument while using the plucking behind it to lift it is pretty amazing. Because the flute is Selena, you know? I still can't believe I spent $300 on Capriccio, guys. That was a waste of money. I was like, she has a cello as a weapon. I must. Do not do that. Do not spend $300 on a gacha game. Don't be me. That is dumb. If I wasn't a content creator, I would have never found any of this shit. I blame all of you. It's not greed. It's just excitement. Capriccio's free. She is? I love that, like, this is interesting to me because there's an air of elegance and there's also an air of sadness, which is really powerful. You know? Thanks, Nathan. I appreciate that a lot. Thanks, gaming bro. Appreciate it. Anyway, really gorgeous stuff. Before we continue on, I want to go over to the boss theme for spoilers, I guess, but let's listen to the battle theme. Dream till the timeless battle. I'll probably lump all of these in one video, by the way, guys. Nice. Dunk, 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 dunk. Wow, that really does sound like Shimamura. That sounds like something out of Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, that is so Shimamura coded. Thanks, huh? Oh! 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 Holy fuck, dude. That is so... Oh, this is the main theme. So now the main theme is sped up. Oh my god. That is insanely good. Oh man, that's amazing. Wait, do you think that this is live? Narusha, do you know? Is this live? This could be money from Wua because this sounds really clean. This does not sound like their typical VST. This could be live. It's live? Or live orchestra? Oh my God, I'm so happy. Oh my God. It does feel like it. And it does sound live. The way it's being played, there's like breath in it. There's a quality. They have their own orchestra. I thought that they just kind of hire it out. I didn't realize they had their own orchestra. Man, I love this. What a terrific rhythm. Incredible piano, bro. Oh, speaking of Wuthering Waves. Oh, so fucking good. And that's such a nice transition there. Oh, but so even though we're sliding around, we never lose the sense of legato. Man, what a terrific battle theme! Oh my God. Man, and the fact that we're constantly trading off the motif. First of all, so it's cool because we hear the motif when we log in, but then we also get the motif throughout this piece. So I mean, you can kind of pick on it right away, and it becomes that little bit of an earworm. I know that image is kind of weird for people, but like the earworm is the thing that kind of loop. That's the motif. That's the thing. That's actually like, that's good. Man, that brass in here. Oh man, this is so good. And there's a little bit of harpsichord in there too. Oh, I really like that. Now, obviously, that was not like a deep analysis or anything like that, of course, but I really like that. I meant to. This is all gonna just become like, I don't know. It's fine. Let me do what the PGR is a separate video here, so that way it's easier for my editor. Let's check out the short. You know what? If this is where my $300 went, I don't even feel too bad about it. Music is reviving the dead flower? Hold on. What's her fingering? Can that be accurate? This actually matters to me. I don't know why. What's she doing here? Boom. Let me just see if that note is right. What's this? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, guys. Looks like she's on... A. That's an A. Hold on. A. It's a G. Oh, I think she's wrong. I'm sorry, guys. This is like the most pedantic thing I've ever done. F. I mean, it's close. Who gives a shit about like? She's a little off. I forgot I can do this. I know, sorry. I forgot I could do this. Wow. This is incredible. Dum dum da dum dum, shura da da dum, shura da da dum, shura da da dum, shura da da dum, da 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 dum, da da dum. Oh, the beautiful crossover with the hands there. Wonderfully animated. This is that? Oh. Is that Isla? Wow. That's Selena from the past? Oh, okay. I didn't realize she had pink hair. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh man, that block chord. Budapest Art Orchestra.
初次见面，我叫伊丽丝。
Oh man, that hit me, guys. Oh my fuck. Insanely good. I don't know. Stuff like this, man, it just gets me. Because like I poured my entire being in like into being a professional singer, like studying. And yesterday I did a stream where I gave some horror stories from my opera days, and like, that wound is there. It hurts sometimes, and I think about what could have been or where I would be. And a lot of the imagery in this particular thing just like really it felt like a battleground. A lot of times it felt like a war, but the war was with myself. Oh man. And that shit, that hits, man. Like I had a whole journey for my life, and like I'm really grateful. I mean, like the healing and the reversing of all the damage. It's kind of what I feel like this YouTube channel's been, man, because I wasn't going to ever talk about music again. I was done. Guys. Like I was like, man, fuck all that. I was going to bury my heart in that ocean. My love for music, I was going to bury that shit. You can't do that. But music has a funny way of finding you. And that's why, like, I'm really grateful, man. I mean, like, this channel like gave me a new lease on my life with music, and I'm starting to take piano lessons again, and like I sing for fun with you guys now sometimes, and like that's why I actually stopped doing my opera singer reacts to operas, because it kind of hurt my soul a little bit. I don't know why I sounded my soul. I'm from a different country. I'm from the South now. Like those visuals were powerful. That brokenness, man, like I felt broken most of the time, guys. I was dying. Like my soul was dying when I was a singer. And I would push through that shit, and I was like, no, I had a sunk cost fallacy for myself. I'm begging you guys, if something doesn't feel right with what you're doing with your career or something, or like, I know it's really hard to pivot, and it took me years. If something doesn't feel right about the college or the school or the degree, trust your gut, man, because like I should have left opera in 2010. I was so fucked up, and thanks for that. I appreciate it. Thank you, G2I. And it wasn't until I had a conversation with my mentor at the time, and I was like, he was like, you're 30. I was in a hotel in Paris, getting ready to go home after doing a gig in Paris, in France, for 7 weeks. And it was like my first international gig. It had been 2 years in the making. When I got it, I was like so thrilled, but my life sort of like started to crumble around me. And he was like, better to leave now than when you're 40. And I can't even, honestly, obviously the pandemic happened and stuff, so like that fucked a lot of people in the opera industry and all the industries really. But like there were months where people just had no work, period, and that's awful. It's terrifying to think, like people with families and stuff, and like you can't make a living but I can't even fathom still being an opera singer today. Like the kind of life I'm living now. Oh man, I'll take people calling me a hypocrite all day, bro. This shit. That fucked me up. Like that like brought me back. And those stains, they stay with you. I want to give you one more piece of advice that you didn't ask for. Every year in my 20s, I'm 37. Every year in my 20s, I kept saying next year's my year because I was always like chasing the carrot. And don't get me wrong, I still chase the YouTube carrot and I want to make as much money as possible for my future and for my family and this and that and the other, right? That's normal. That's like normal chasing, right? They got to chase something. Whatever it is, chase it. But, chase it with good intention and but every year in my 20s, I was like, next year's my year. Next year, I'll get that gig. Next year, I'll be this, that, and the other. Do you know that I wasted my 20s? Not wasted. That's harsh. But if I could go back, that's the...
Marco. Happy Saturday.
Well, happy Saturday to you. Thank you, Travi. If there's one thing I can tell you, do not waste your 20s. Do not wish for things to be better the next year. I mean, shit sucks. I mean, like depression's terrible. I've been there. It feels really bad. Sometimes that will erode the spirit. So I totally, when I'm saying this, I know it's a blanket statement. So if you're struggling with your own stuff right now and you can't wait for next year, by all means. But if you're just like hungry for work and you're pursuing this, that, and the other, just really take stock of the fact that you only get one of these lives. So try to just hold on to those individual moments as much as you can, because I'm telling you, time goes fast. This day is already going to be over. By the time this stream is done, I got stuff going on, it's going to be 6 o'clock. The day's over. Time is moving quick, guys. So just lock in and try to enjoy it as much as possible. Be responsible. Try not to waste I really blew past my 20s because I kept wanting it to be better. I kept wanting to be successful. So anyway, that fucked me up. I'm so glad I watched that. And if you're in the pit of despair right now, man, I promise that shit will get better. I've been there. You just got to hold on. I do think life gets better. Let's check out the boss themes, shall we? And I thank you for letting me be open and honest with you. That shit definitely hits, bro. That shit definitely hurts. Be gentle with yourself, man. Oh, man, that was incredible. That is genuinely incredible. If this is the future of PGR, I am so fucking hooked in. Incredible. Don't you call that cinema? Don't you use that absolute cinema phrase in here. That was not cinema. You back that shit up. I'm sorry, guys. I hope that wasn't too intense. But seriously, it's true. You can't stop me. You could leave. I hit burnout too, dude. Burnout sucks. Beyond cinema. Reality. Reality. What's that? What's the meme? Reality. What the fuck? Holy shit. Anyway, let's check out the battle theme. And then I do want to get into test out Roccia and do some stuff. No fucking way! What is this? Wait. What is that? That's Bach. That's is that Toccata? Boss at 120. Thank you, Rudy. Yeah, thank you. Is that Bach Toccata in G? Oh man, please don't get. I'm gonna get fucking copyright claimed. Toccata. Tell me. Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Let me do it on my phone. I don't think I'll get claimed if I do it. Hold on. Just to the first 10 seconds. Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Hold on. No, can that be it? The fuck? Yeah, you're right. That's fucking incredible. Oh, that's fucking incredible. Jesus. I love this. Yo, Bran, what's up, buddy? I didn't see you in here. What's up, brother? Do you realize how seismically fucking awesome that is, guys? It's the same thing as the magic flute stuff in Wuthering Waves. This is such a big fucking deal. Brandon Lyons here, guys, by the way. The person I mentioned earlier, a Genshin creator that stays out of drama, really is passionate about the game, and is a great person. I owe a lot to Bran. He's a great guy. I consider him a friend. Definitely check out his channel. Definitely subscribe there. Most normal takes about Genshin. Really nice guy. Just a great creator all around. So I really recommend him to you if you're, he also plays other games too. And I think you stream Wuthering Waves, don't you? But Bran is great. And he's a no bullshit kind of guy. So if you want no bullshit, Bran is definitely a creator that you would like. So yeah, you played it. That's right. But this is seismic, guys. This is such a big deal. And I love this. You know why? Because how many of you knew, well, obviously, some of you, I'm not going to be able to see everybody, but like, since there's 900 folks in here, and well, actually there's 1,000 people in here. How many of you know that was Bach? Just a feeler. Push. I'll do what Tectone does. 1 for yes, 2 for no. That's actually a genius thing that Tectone does. It's much easier to see 1 over 2, 1 over me. Yeah. Did you know it was something? Push 1 that you knew it was something. Push 2 if you didn't know it was something. I don't vote. That's fair. Don't vote. By all means. Okay, you knew it was something. So you see how amazing, okay, overwhelmingly 1. Do you see how that's amazing? Do you see it like from my perspective as a classic, like a former professional in the classical space who's like had to like work towards educating like and reaching out to the public? Do you realize how big a deal that is? So you knew, hey Scarlett, you knew that was a thing. But here we have sat down and actually figured it out. And thank you to Eleanor, by the way. I appreciate you. That is insane. Because that means that this gotcha game that wants to steal your money that a lot of the gaming industry fucking hates and think is a waste of time and terrible and all this other stuff actually manages to educate you on what like music is. Classical music isn't dead. You know what I mean? So if that's a gateway, and there's my $300 right there, baby. Thank you, Narusho. I appreciate that. If that's what it takes to get you to then go and listen to the Bach Toccata in D minor, that is a colossal victory for the arts. The arts on the whole, right? That's fucking awesome. So, people want to shit all over gacha games, and I'm kind of tired of defending the 50-50 and the monetization practices. There are better ways to do it. I understand that it's not from a Western perspective. It's much more popular in Asia or what have you, but like this shit is fucking amazing. And it did happen with Moonlight Sonata too, yeah. Also, what? I also love this fusion thing. I actually love this fusion stuff. Fusion stuff is exciting to me. This is really good. It really is a fugue. So, wow, we can get into the discussion of what a fugue is, because honestly, that was the one part I didn't pay attention to in class, which I wish I had better, because I was so busy trying to be a singer that I didn't think about, like, oh, you should maybe find out, because someday you're going to have a YouTube channel where you're going to have to teach people about music, and you're going to be asked what a fugue is, and I'm going to be like, I don't know what a fugue is, and you would have looked a lot better if you had actually paid attention in class. But anyway, oh, wait. So I just got some exciting news. Wow. Do you guys know Emmy Evans? One of the most incredible singers in the video game space. You know, Nier. She we're good friends. She's wonderful. She's like a wonderful human being, by the way. This has just got announced. She's singing in the song Distant Worlds. Oh, no fucking way. She's singing in the song Distant Worlds from the latest Distant Worlds album that just came out, which made its debut at the LA concert last night and will eventually come out on vinyl and be downloadable. Wow. That's awesome. It looks like there's a new Distant Worlds. This is Distant World 7. Wow. For Final Fantasy fans eating good. That's good shit. I can see the answer. I think it's that one. Anyway, let's check out Phase 2. Trumpets. Why does he look like Millennia? That's sussy. Come on. Come on, Kuro. Really? Come on. That's fucking Millennia. Let's be serious. Wait, what's this? I think this might be an original composition. They reference Bayonetta too. Does someone know what that is? That's definitely I think that might be a classical piece as well. The way that it's cascading. Oh. Could this be Rachmaninoff? That's definitely a classical piece. Shit. No, it does sound. It sounds. That's the loop. I'm not crazy about that, to be honest. I don't love. I mean, I don't mind the beat pattern, and I like the reinterpretation of it's ever so slightly shifted in the tempo of that particular piece. But that feels more like a temporary phase rather than a. Not to say it's bad. Oh, this is Narushio. Thank you. That's you. None of the. They don't know. Thanks, Narushio, for uploading these. If you guys don't know Narushio's in the chat. Narushio uploads a bunch of stuff, OSTs for all these games that we like. So I didn't realize I was using yours, but thank you, Narushio. Appreciate that, as always. Let's see. Inu Luya, boss theme phase 3. All right, let's see. So it's the same thing, but elevated ever so slightly. Obviously yeah, these are phases. You want to watch the boss fight? Okay, press 1 for yes, press 2 for no. I really actually like that Tectone does that because it actually makes it easier to... I wasn't crazy about both phase 2 and phase 3, I gotta be honest. I much rather the battle theme, and I much rather phase 1. Okay, overwhelmingly 1. All right, noted. Narushi, is this on your channel? Well, I'll just look it up. Ino Luya. Luya boss fight. All ones. Okay, that's noted. 11 minutes. You guys really don't want me to I gotta get to Wuthering Waves for a little bit. Let me just I'll skip around probably. Wow. What? Wow. Really? I mean, wait, whoa. This looks like musical instrument stuff. Oh, that's her? That's Ino Luya? Holy shit. That's is that a fucking guitar on her? That's a guitar on her wrist. Part of me thinks that's silly. Is that a trombone on her? Yeah, it is. This is kind of funny. Okay, all right. She's got Venom swing. She has Venom's moveset. This feels funny. This feels a little bit campy, but I love this headpiece very much. Oh, this is all musical instruments.
你的舞伴都不在了，想要独自一人完成
Man,
最终的
phase 1 is incredible.
那退场的人只如身已乱。
道はずれます私もまだまだですね
Okay, whatever. Phase 1.
オートモティーフ
远程打击，
Wait, what? There's a shadow. I can't wait to read about this. Okay, now I gotta re-download PG.
フォルティッシ
Is that her ult?
ュここまでライトモティーフを奏でましょう
She says fortissimo when she does it. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with her.
星屑にこの曲を捧げ
Jesus. Oh my god, really? She blows through the whole... Definitely Arknight's Sirakusa, yes. I like this. I like... What? She's a conductor? Oh. That is almost silly. Borderlining silly for me, but also incredibly cool at the same time, because it's music. Music notes! That's amazing. That's absurd. That is an absurd thing to see. That is awesome. What the fuck? It's 8 notes. Whoa, okay.
忘れました。
It's unfortunate that I'm not crazy about phase 2 or phase 2. I'm really not crazy about. Like it's fine. It's just a little bit like sort of it doesn't really go anywhere. Whereas phase 1 just feels that I kind of feel like the. I think that's why I find that the dum bo 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 dum, like it just feels like it kind of. That part feels better than the tung ka-tung ka-tung ka-tung. That doesn't really do it for me, you know what I mean? Let's fast forward to phase 3. There's a fucking rhythm game within. Dude, this is sick to me. So there's a rhythm game within the boss fight. That's like some Drakengard 3 stuff. That's there's a huge spectacle here though. You get hit if you don't slam it. It's like almost a marionette. Wow. Petrified, really? That's very cool. Hey Cloud, what's up? I'm doing really well, thank you. Really dope. I mean, yeah, I think that was really fun. I'm glad we listened to all of that. I gotta say though, this battle theme is absurd. Absurd. Like left me speechless. Genuinely just a truly phenomenal boss theme. Battle theme. But can't you hear the difference too? I think like one of the things that I don't love about this is that like you can clearly hear the VST trumpets, where like, you know, one of the cool things about Wuthering Waves, not to compare these two games because they're not really similar, but musically, when you walk into the Temple of the Order of the Temple of the Order of the Deep, you know how you get that brass like brrr. The reason why that's so impressive is because it's real instruments and because it's so in the lower register, so it's like a low note which really hits you. Whereas here, the trumpets, and I do think this is a fair critique of this, which I mean it's fine. It's like a 2-second thing, right? And it's for PGR, so I mean like it's not even. I wouldn't say that we should hold it to the same standard as Wuthering Waves. That would be ridiculous, I think. But like this is. Hang on. Like that sounds fine, but I think it's this. Right there. That sounds absolutely absurd. That sounds so silly. But to be honest with you, yeah, like Suki, you'll know this, but like one of the things that I absolutely there's a track in Final Fantasy 16 that I mostly liked that, but I kind of get agitated because it's like all VST. Which is kind of why I kind of pulled back a little bit from Final Fantasy 14 because all of it's sort of that MIDI thing. I've got 10 minutes. Let's hop into Wuthering Waves. The brass sounds really bad in VST if you're not careful. It just doesn't sound good. And that's why I think the battle theme is insanely good because the battle theme has that real music, you know what I mean? Not to say that. Hold on. When I say real music, don't take that. Well, hold on. Let me rephrase that. When I say real music, I mean, I think the digital is real. What I mean to say is like the real instrumentation adds a layer of I think the natural quality of the instrument that I think works better than VST at times. That's what I mean. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that. Sorry, I don't want to misspeak or say things I don't mean. So. That's what I meant. Does that make sense? Do I make sense? I should say. Ibushi is one of my favorite themes from Monster Hunter Rise. I've heard All Mother Narwa. I gotta do a video on those. Like, this sounds so good. Because it's real. It's a... because it's real instruments, if that makes sense. Best Final Fantasy music? Oh, I'm in part. You can't ask me that because it's impartial. It's 9 for sure. Thanks. I love the wallpaper too. Full Metal Alchemist is incredible. It's one of the best things I've ever read. I read it. Chad, do I make sense about what I said earlier about all this Genshin stuff? Like, all things can exist on their own, in their own space, right? Like, we understand what I was saying earlier if you were here. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? All right, cool. I don't want to keep fanning that flame, but I just reiterating, like, you know, I think it is common sense, but I just don't want to start up like some war, because I felt like some people really misunderstood the point of my video, and so people were like, well, this is why Wuthering Waves is like, no, we're not saying that. You know what I mean? We're not saying that. We're not attacking people. That's actually counterproductive to a healthy competition. You know, shit's crazy though. I do think there's some deliberate misunderstanding because it's easier to listen. Listen. I mean, the people that don't get it are never going to get it, and they're not going to get it from me. You know what I mean? The people that already didn't like it don't like it. If people are still upset, they're not going to get it, and I'm letting them farm me for content. Listen, no one said anything bad. The only thing I didn't like was one of the thumbnails said "fuck Hoyo shills," which I've never said. That annoyed me. I think I wrote a comment. I gotta make sure. I think I wrote a comment on his video. Totally nice guy though. His logic was no one said anything. In fact, one of the biggest rage baiters out there, self-proclaimed, is this guy with like a smaller channel, but really he seemed like a perfectly. Oh fuck! Hold on one second. Oh, Santoyas, I definitely called him out because he said that I said that I would never make Genshin content again, and I was like, I did not say that. Please don't. Please. He pinned it. So, you know, for all anybody wants to say about Santoyas and for all that people want to shit on him fueling the flame, and I admit that he definitely like absolutely does not like Genshin Impact. He did pin that comment. So let's be clear, like, you know, I think that those issues are people's issues against that are valid. But he could have not pinned that comment. You know, I think we don't need to continue going back and forth and stuff, but it was the guy I'm talking about is oh fuck, I forgot I stopped here. The guy I'm talking about is Kazuhana was fine. I talked to Poke too, like I think Poke just says things. I'm not really I don't know. He definitely needs to like he just says things. He just likes to fuel the it's not good. But, you know, it's fine. Whatever bro has to do, you know? I mean, ultimately, I can't stop. You can't stop people from... Oh, Ethan. Ethan, you know, I even said, like, he even said he's the biggest rage baiter. And I would agree. You know, but, like, there were some valid comments in that, valid points that all these guys, I watched all these videos because I was like, what are they saying? They're using me for content. Okay, so what does that mean? Hey Q-sama, thank you. All right, so let me see what I need to do here. There's 2 OSTs, really? Chu or Ku? I can't wait for this skin. No, I'm speaking about how they spoke to me. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we should encourage sort of like division. Okay. Dance ritual. Oh, is this about New Year, isn't it? Is this related to New Year, kind of? I don't think so, actually. Okay, so every day we just do this, and then... Thanks, Armin, I appreciate that. God, look at this shit, dude.
I should try to smile more, you say?
Oh my god, this
Like
is
this?
such a good skin. And it's free! It's such a good skin, and it's fucking free! I think objectively, Sanhua is a beautiful character model. And yeah, the lighting is wild on these leggings. I didn't want to say it, you said it, so that's fine. But like, look at this. Hey, thanks, Nadia. I appreciate that. 20 subs. Thanks a ton. Everyone who gets a gifted sub, please say thank you to Nadia. Appreciate that. 20 is no joke. Appreciate that very much. That's beautiful, man. That's really beautiful. That's why I don't want to pull for Roccia. That's quite literally why. Plus with Phoebe and Bran on the way. Not Bran. Okay, we're good. So I just do that every day. John Victorio. What am I looking at here? What is this? I haven't been playing, to be honest with you guys. I've been playing Guild Wars 2. I don't have enough time to do anything else in WoWa. That makes me sad. Let me just Zani is a must. See the description for the new event? Yeah, let me take a look. John Victoria, a retired acolyte and accountant of the Order, found his cherished echo brutally killed by some thugs. I like how they don't even pretend that it's not John Wick. I think that's actually great. John Victoria. Maybe we can start this. Chad, do you want me to stream this? This is 1 for streaming, 2 for not streaming. Yeah, I figured it would be 1. That's fine. Okay, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. I feel as though we had a very good stream today, guys. I feel like we had a good chat. I feel like those of you that are here understand my perspective, understand where I'm coming from. Let's at least trial. Let's trial Roccia, because maybe I'll pull. I'm not really. See, I'm not. I think I have enough. I'll probably... Oh, I don't know if I'll pull Brant. I probably will, because... Will I pull both of those guys? I don't know if I'll pull... I'll probably end up pulling both of them. I'm sort of impartial. I like Phoebe, but I'm not crazy about Phoebe. I mean, she's fine. But... Brant... We'll see. We'll see. Alright, where's the trial? No.
I alone will decide what.
I'm just kind of happy with my setup right now. Yeah, no, apparently I've heard rumors. Where is, here he is. Here you go. Let's see. Companion story. Okay, let me trial. Because I sort of tested her out, but... What rumors? None of your business. I've got Camellia. I feel like that's the most AoE I could possibly go with. And Roccia's E2 no less, so I mean, talking about spending $300. Don't do it, chat. Don't spend that much. It's dumb. All right, when Roccia is beyond imagination with enough... when Roccia's in beyond imagination with enough forte gauge, she can cast chain plunging attack. Casting outro skills grants the incoming resonator utility. Press E to pull in nearby targets. Sometimes I read this stuff and I feel like I can't actually understand anything. Okay.
Surprise! Mamma mia! Avanti! Mamma mia! Avanti! Ooh.
Ah, so holding down E actually fills her gauge up. Oh, I see.
We'll improvise. Tornado Maker! Mamma mia!
Reborn from ancient roots.
So, chat, how is she so much better than Sanhua? Is she, though? Really? I mean, I know that she's... Is she Havoc? I think she's
Mamma
Havoc.
mia! Avanti! Mamma mia!
I can't decide if she's even worth it. I accidentally spent 200.
Mamma mia!
Yeah, I accidentally spend 200 all the time on this game.
Improv performance!
She's a 10% bigger?
Mamma mia! Avanti! Figurati!
Don't get me wrong, I don't mind the playstyle. If the difference is liminal, especially... Liminal? Liminal? Is that the word? Sanhua S6 is better. She's a Havoc buffer. Her Italian's pronounced right, but it's got a little bit of an English lilt. You don't think she's worth it? Yeah, I don't think she's worth it either. She's really nice, don't get me wrong. I don't think I want S2 Jinshi, so I'll probably just skip this banner. I think I'll probably skip this banner. Hey, thanks, Anime. Thank you. Yeah, I'll probably skip this banner. Because, I mean, to be honest with you,
Will decide whether
I should try to smile more, you say?
that skin
This?
will keep me... Oh, I gotta level her up to 80, by the way, guys. I gotta do all this. Shit. Yes, I mean... After an Ice Prism or a Glacier is detonated, all team members' attack is increased by 10% for 20 seconds, stacking up to 2 times. But then, I mean, Camellia is my main at this point. You know, I mean, the damage multiplier resonance of Pheromone is increased by 100. This was disgusting. I can't believe they put this here. 120% is absurd. S6 is pretty much comparable. Sanhua is in there too. Roccia's there for her damage plus buff. I see. Hey, thanks, Levin. What's up? Nah, I'm cool. I also don't mind. I genuinely enjoy having Sanhua in the team. I think I've pretty much, even when I was doing, I think actually you can see it here. Even when I was doing, when I had my Chongli Jinshi team, well, then it switched to Camellia, but I'm pretty sure. It used to, before Shorekeeper, it was always Jinshi, Chongli, and Sanhua. I'm just reading what you're saying. You know, I haven't played Donjin enough. I played her in the beta, and then I didn't. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to do Nimbus Chorale today. I know that there's music in there that I'm missing, so we'll have to take a look at it. What do I think about this game? I think the game's amazing. I genuinely think the game is incredibly good. I think it's quite polished. I think it's really well made. I think there's a lot of love for it. I think that there's a lot of player goodwill for it. You know, I think if for whatever reason things turn and suddenly it starts moving in a different direction, I firmly don't believe it will. I really do think it's a game for a Scotch a second. Now, someone who doesn't like gacha games will say, well, no, that's impossible. It's always gacha. Are they wrong? I don't know. Maybe. It's going to power creep so hard in 2.1. You come in here every time and just start shit. I swear to God. You're always in here starting shit. So I think eventually there will be some disappointment, but you know, I think like as long as people express themselves, I think again, constructive criticism goes so much farther than just like yelling into the void, you know? Yeah, thank you. I'll log in for 7 days. No problem. That's fine. I think we'll do the companion quest next week then. So next week will be Half-Life 2, and then Wuthering Waves will be thrown around in there. Yeah. I think time gaining is awful. I think that that's like a really big complaint for me about these games in general. So like the fact that like right now, if I want to go farm for mats, I can't. Like I can, and then I have to stop. Like I get it because it makes me come back tomorrow and do it as well. And I'm glad that there's not like days of the week that I need to do that in, which is I thought was always a big complaint for me with Genshin. What are there? No. And Arknights does that too, to be honest. But Chinese laws? Is that why? I really firmly believe that they could have gone ahead and done the PGR system that the PGR eventually added after 1.5. And I really think that it would have been such a bold move to take a game of this size that needs this kind of money and just said, you know what? No 50-50. I'm telling you, I pray they do it. I think it would be such a shit. I don't even, the thing is like, I don't mind spending the money or well, no, I don't. I really don't. I really don't mind spending the money. Now I know that they would take a loss, right? But like, to me, that's a way to be like, you know what? We're player focused. We're player forward. Let's get rid of the 50-50 in the character pools. Let's give our players an opportunity to get the astrites. Let's give our players the opportunity to not feel like they're gambling. Because then it's just a question of RNG, right? Because you might get it right away. You might not. I know that's a complicated conversation, and I'm not really the right person to have a conversation about that. That's just my personal feeling. But I think that would be such a bold move for Wuthering Waves to do that. Oh, so Infinity Nikki, so there is no 50-50 and there's no dupes until you get a full set, even though you have to they find ways to work it so that the weapon gacha system in PGR is quite greedy. Is it? That's an interesting question or a comment. Is it greedy? It's 200 pity. It is. See, but I don't trust. And I love I have a lot of respect for Kuro games. I love Kuro games. I don't trust that we can really say no 50-50, but then be like, but there's an 80 cap. I really don't think. See, there's got to be some way to like, you know what I mean? Like, it can't just be. And I think this is where Warframe spoiled me, because it's like, you want to get the characters, well, you can grind, or you can pay however much money it is. It's not much. I think it's like, how much money is it for a frame? Is it $3.99? Point is, evening, PGR's pity, but 80-20. So, I mean, I think you'd have to adjust the rates. You know what I mean? The 375 plat. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. PGR's 30 pity and 80-20 also pull anytime. Okay. I don't understand all these fractions, to be honest with you, if I'm honest. But 30 pity, that's, I don't know. It's 30 pity with 80-20 and second is guaranteed. In the future patches, if you lose 80-20, you're guaranteed on your next one. I thought there wasn't. Huh. Okay, I see we've entered into a really complicated discussion. Let's just move on while I'll stay for another 5 minutes. All that to say is I think that would be a pretty bold move. And who knows? I mean, with all these other sort of open world gacha games that are coming out, you know, I think we'll have to see, you know. But I think that's probably my biggest complaint. And I said this when they announced that there was going to be a 50-50 for the characters. I've actually stood by this statement that I don't agree with it. Well, who does? And I also don't think it's fair, or I don't think it's right to do it. I really don't. I think if you're going to be player forward within this like sort of gacha model, I think there's still a way to deviate from the standard, or what has become standard. You know what I mean? That's true, because Shangli Yao was limited and a giveaway. So, I mean, like, that's already like, hey, we're giving you an entire character that is viable and actually good. And you can choose whether or not you want to do that or not. I didn't, but I also didn't pull for him. 100 pulls to guarantee no 50-50. But how much money would that be? How much money? I mean, the thing is, if you remember that when everything went to shit with 1.0 and all the backlash, remember those first like 14 days? Free shit just constantly? You know what I mean? They I mean, obviously they were in like backup defense mode, but like that was still like millions of dollars. I mean, millions, realistically, millions of dollars. You know, that is definitely cope. I would love that too, but there's no way that's not cope. They'd have to rechange the entire structure of the game. And I also don't know, has a gacha game ever become not a gacha game? Thanks to Soyas. Salamat po. Will I still cover Hoyoverse music? I just did. I just uploaded a Rumeria video, and I have a sponsored Astra Yao video coming out this weekend. See? Hoyoverse still likes me. They sponsored me. So clearly they don't care about all this stuff. No, I know they do. I'm just asking. They wouldn't be called gotcha. No, it's true. Talk about copium. My copium is that they were like, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's not do the gotcha system anymore. Rest of Notlan, I'll do the weekly boss in the next 2 weeks. My fiance is Filipino. I have a lot of love for the Philippines. I've never been there, but she was born there. Huge copium, I know. No, these gotchas earn a lot, I know. But 300 pity and FGO for a guarantee. Jesus Christ. I like Blue Archive music a lot, actually. Good night. Can she sing? Yeah, she can. But yeah, so I think that's the biggest thing. Also, I guess I should talk. I do think that I think a balance of characters would be nice too. It's funny because the Wuthering Waves community on Twitter called me gay for saying that I wanted more male characters. But, sir? So let's be clear. Like, the fuck? It's not kind of. That's absurd. Don't even say that. That's so stupid. Well, what do you think the target demographic is? Everyone? Like, everybody? Like, what? I don't know. Excluding an entire, like, community? I'm like, it's absurd. You know, the more people you cater to, the better it will be. So one. Then two, I think, again, cleaning up, tightening up the story, even ever so slightly more, really a big deal. And then I think just continuing the trend of being good. I didn't go for Opianus, but I would have if I liked his kit better. Yeah. So those are like some, just like, I'm just kind of stalling. I do need to leave, but listen, guys, I really do appreciate you. You know, I just it's been really nice. It's been very heartening. Those of you that I don't know if this is your first stream or not, but you know, thank you for coming in from wherever you came from. You know, I do have to thank the other parts of this community that did sort of support what I had to say, and I do think that if I had done truly something egregious, I would have been called out, and I would have accepted that, and I would have accepted it myself. You know, I think in the future, maybe we don't use other games to compare one game to the other. Okay, fine. But you know, I mean, that's, even that, I'm kind of like, I mean, it was pretty tame. I do understand people's points. I do know that right now on the internet, it's kind of hot. But I think that the reaction was sort of I think I saw someone mention that they called me a Nazi on Twitter. That can't be true. Surely that's not true. That would be bizarre. But I do appreciate just like the tsunami of support. And I don't think it was just from the gacha space either. That probably is not true. That can't be true. I really don't believe that's true. Yeah. And as far as like the heat in the kitchen thing, I talked with Poke about that. Like, it's fine. I think he recognizes that maybe that wasn't the best thing to say. I didn't feel, you know, it's funny because people defend like victim blaming. It definitely puts you in a position of weakness when someone says something like that. And a lot of people say something like that. A lot of the comments that I did see that were sort of, you know, against what I had done were essentially that, you know, but I think it really depends on the person if they feel they're being victim blamed. And while it does put a person in a position of weakness, because if someone says, well, you can't handle it, then you shouldn't be doing this. It's like, that is so fucking like like it's not just one or the other. And again, I think this is the problem with the internet, is that there's absolutely no nuance, right? So like, you can't say, oh, you can't handle it, you shouldn't do it. Or, oh, I mean, that's absurd. Like, it just doesn't work that way. Like, it's like, you can't first of all, who says I can't handle it because I responded in a certain way? Well, that's actually not necessarily how that works. Like, it's way more complicated than, and I think part of it's because of the screen. And then so it filters through me, goes through the screen, filters through you, and then the person responds, right? And so it's all just emotional reactions, which I've certainly do. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't, you know, we're just chilling, guys. Like, we're just having a good time. It really is just a horrible, horrible game of telephone. I actually agree with that. I think if he had seen that video, I think he would have been like, huh, yeah, maybe that was kind of like the incorrect response, because he didn't see that video. Yeah. No, it's good. But also, like, there is something to be said for someone's own personal growth. Just as you are growing every day, I'm also growing every day. And, you know, but also that kind of comment is also silly, because if you go check out the Patreon video that I filmed yesterday, I literally talked about like 4 different examples in the opera industry that would break most people. And in fact, they broke me. So like the whole idea of like not being able to handle like online criticism, now it is much wider spread and it's much more vicious, I think, and vitriolic. But the feedback that I was receiving in my opera days was actually way more personally destructive. So like the idea that I'm truly living my best life right now. Like this is, I'm incredibly lucky. I mean, this is absurd. Like 670, you know, seven, almost 800 people in here. We're just hanging out. Like that's, people dream of this, and I would never take it for granted. But like, I mean, to act like I didn't live a whole other career before this one, most people don't do that. Most people, you know, usually YouTube is something that they fall into, or if they're in their younger years, they like aspire to be a YouTuber or a streamer or whatever. Like, I was very happy in my opera career until shit went terribly mentally for me, and also like with just like the experiences that I accrued. So like I've actually lived a whole separate life. This is so much easier than what I was doing, you know? Performing in front of 4,000 people when you literally feel like you're gonna like implode emotionally or are having a panic attack in front of people, in front of an audience that big, that is way worse than getting backlash over like a perceived rage bait thumbnail, right? Like those are not the same. And so obviously, yeah, I don't want like, you know, it does hurt me that the folks on Billy, you know, basically like, you know, talked mad shit about who I am as a person and my career and stuff. But like it doesn't really bother me because it's like I've kind of stepped back and been like, wait a second, I already had a career that was way harder than this. Like that sucks. I don't want that. You know, obviously it hurts my feelings, but like we have to understand like hurting one's feelings doesn't mean that one is soft. It means that one is a real person with emotions. And this idea in modern society where we have to press down and suppress that stuff is so dangerous. And it's such a terrible mindset. Yeah, yes, you do have to like push through, but like, why do you think that I went to grief counseling when my dad died? Because I knew that if I didn't properly handle that then, that it would bite me in the ass 3 years later, where we are now, right? So I went to grief counseling so I could fucking bawl. I mean, I used to go into grief counseling. I used to cry for an entire hour, right? But because that was a safe space to do that in. We talk about a safe space. That's an actual safe space, right? So, you know, one doesn't have to be soft like goo, but one can have a very soft interior and use that as a tool to be a good person in the world. Because you can't take bullshit, but you also need to be tender at the same time. And I think that to me is like, that's a general staple, but I think again, if we're talking about masculinity, I think for young men especially, that's something that comes up a lot. Being soft is a good thing. And I think we have a lot of bad examples of what masculinity is in this world. And I think if I can teach you some music and I can also teach you like, hey, being a young, strong man, what does strength mean? Not to say that I'm strong, but like, what does strength mean? That is something that I maybe can do. And I kind of hate that I just said that out loud, but maybe there's a world where you can be stronger than me, but then also be emotionally soft and take accountability for one's actions. And I think that's a you know, so ultimately, yeah. So anyway, also I think it's kind of annoying that we become so desensitized to like bad behavior that we're sort of like, oh, just ignore it. I mean, I guess it's kind of annoying. Don't you think? Don't you think like just ignoring, you don't have a choice. Actually, you know, and Tecto made a good point. He said it's better to hide people because then they rage view and rage comment, but you can't see it. I've been doing that for years. You know how many people are on my some of you in here are shadow banned. You don't even know it. You'll never know. I don't know. You know, not everybody watching this loves me or appreciates what I'm doing. Some people are genuinely just, you know, watching because they want to get upset about something. I would love to believe that nobody else does that, but I'm sure it's true. You know. Anyway, I gotta go. I really appreciate hanging out with you guys. It's great. I really appreciate. I was actually really looking forward to this. I felt like it was going to be a very good conversation and a very cathartic conversation. We didn't actually get to play Wuthering Waves, but I hope that you enjoyed the PGR stuff as much as I did. Can you tell me, 1, if you want me to stream PGR, 2, if you don't care? Okay, looks like more ones than twos, but there are some twos, so that's good to know. I guess don't care is a neutral. Should have said no, but it's fine. Yeah, because I'm right near surviving Lucham, and I'm sort of like, it's in the back of my mind as I keep thinking about wanting to stream it because I want to experience it. Project Gotham Racing PGR. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, guys. Well, in any case, let's catch up soon. We'll look to stream next week for some Wuthering Waves stuff. Yeah, no, he can play the victim card all he wants. I'm fine. I know my perspective on the matter, and I can be neutral and objective. And but I can imagine that podcast can probably go one of 10 ways. So I'm intrigued. I don't think, we'll see. I think it should be okay. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm not playing League of Legends. Good night. Yeah, Dizzy's theme will come out this week. It's been 2 months in the making. I just had to get to it. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Be safe. Bye.